hashtag BB21. We just came out of a live eviction. The hashtag Jack Eviction Party, which Charlie, you said was trending on United States Trends before the episode.
Yep. Yeah, trending all over the States, which is just it's funny. It's awesome.
And we'll talk about kind of how things turned out. That's gonna be our long in-depth discussion tonight. Is gonna be about not Jack's eviction, but what happened after. So we had a little bit of review talking about. Obviously, we had Jack and Mickey up on the block against each other. We saw that really Tommy and Christy tried kind of bringing the group together a little bit, and it seemed like Holly and Mickey really weren't having any of it. They were definitely over the six that was no more, whereas Jack was trying to apologize for everything, and so was Christy. And Annalise didn't really say much, but really it was like Tommy.
Does she ever?
Yeah, it's like Tommy's trying to make peacemaker, and Christy thought that if she apologized, that Mickey would, and she was wrong.
It was wild. Definitely the moment of the episode tonight was the everything that went down with Jack. I mean, between that and Jack getting up and leaving, I'm just gonna let you guys talk it out. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
very odd. Shout out to everyone in chat right now. We had I don't even know what to call you. I'll call you 10K. I'll call you 10K, Melissa, Ben, Fume, Francito, Tamia, Icy, Ty. I'll just call you Ty. But yeah. So let's talk about the vote went basically how we thought it was going to, with the exception of Tommy not voting for Jack to stay. Tommy voted against Jack. Do you think that means anything? Do you think it was a game move, or do you think it was just he didn't really care?
I don't know. I wonder what was behind that. Everyone knew that they're together, so it doesn't. Maybe it's trying to gain trust with Mickey. Maybe it's trying to blur some lines with Mickey. That's all I can think of. Well, so
yeah.
You know.
As a reminder, Ben, let's just stay away from live feed stuff, just in case. I mean, I know that's not giving away anything. We'll make sure we stay away from live feed stuff because we're just reviewing the episode right now. So it was Tommy's birthday. And before we get to the Jack eviction stuff, we know that he got evicted. Let's go to who won HOH, and let's talk about the upcoming week a little bit. So Tommy ended up winning HOH on his birthday. Christy was in second, so that too kind of dominated the comp. It was they were in a kayak, and they had to push themselves down a ramp, and that was meant to look like water. They had to push themselves down the ramp. Person who crosses the line closest to 9 seconds ends up winning the HOH. Tommy was exactly 1/10 of a second away. Do you think that this will be interesting for next week, Charlie? Do you think he's going to try to salvage the 5 that are left of the 6? I mean, most people are assuming he's probably going to go after Cliff, but let's assume Cliff ends up being one of the nominees because that seems to be Tommy's target. Question number 1, who do you think the other nominee would be if they don't get someone that's volunteering themselves? And number 2, do you think that Christy or Nick could convince him to backdoor Mickey?
I think Christy, I mean, he'll probably do what Christy wants. Unfortunately, he's got this field trip to deal with.
Yeah.
Christy will go on it. She is going on it. Tommy probably won't now because he's safe. But Christy could be easily not like, there's a good chance she ends up being nominated on Tommy's HOH.
That'd be crazy.
So he's got that to deal with. That'll probably happen tomorrow if I were to guess in live time, right? Probably Friday. It's when they do stuff like that.
So if it were up to Tommy and there were just two nominees, who do you think it would be? We're saying Cliff and who?
He's scared, so probably Jessica.
That's what
he's gonna want to try and keep the illusion of the group alive, right? So
yeah, Jessica, maybe Nick. I don't know.
Yeah,
it seems like he seems to be okay with Nicole. Like he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers with her. So yeah, and I always forget about Kat. I felt so not bad, but it was just kind of telling that during the HOH competition, the last 2 people to go were Holly and Nick. And I literally forgot about both of them. I was like, I don't even know who's left in the house. And they both went to go. And I was like, oh, which is kudos to Nick because he was public enemy number 1 just 2 weeks ago. So kind of funny. Did the guy that was doing the live stream with you guys give up on Big Brother? He started a new job about 3 weeks ago, and I think it's just he's on the grind.
And tonight he was gonna watch, but CBS is showing football in his area, so he's like, yeah, well, he's sitting around there. It hits like 9:10. I got a message, and he's like, what time's the show on the night? I'm like, it's going.
Yeah,
we're live, pal.
Yeah, so that kind of stinks. But Ton says Nick and Kat, maybe. All right, so let's talk about the eviction, then we'll go back and we'll hit chat a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of an abbreviated episode tonight on my end, guys. You might be able to stay and chat with Charlie. It's up to him, but I'm tired. This is my first full week of work. I've had to be in no later than 8 a.m. every day this weekend, so I'm tired, man. I've been at the school from like 8 to 6 every day. Just
probably catch up a little bit.
Meetings. Oh, it's terrible.
The fun teacher stuff they don't tell you about.
Sitting around for 2 4-hour sessions of meetings every day. Plus today was
completely entertaining meetings.
Yeah, and today was scheduled pickup day. So like it was all the parents asking all the questions and the terrified 6th graders coming in. It doesn't seem like it would be a lot of work, but it does.
Make sure little Johnny's got the best teacher,
It's horrible, man. It's like any of you guys that have ever gone to like school, if you've ever had a long class, like a college class that's an hour and a half, if the class is interesting, at least it goes by and you don't feel as tired. But if you're sitting there and it's just
dragging, man,
it's terrible. So that's what I've been dealing with. But anyway, I'll be better next week. Promise. This week will be the sluggish week. Anyway, so Jack got evicted, and the first question that was posed to him, or the first statements that Julie was making was, so you made it during your HOH, you made it known that, Kemi was kind of public enemy number one. He wanted Kemi gone kind of from day one. And he was the main reason why Kemi did get evicted so early. And she was like, was there any specific reason to that? And instantly Jack got like really cocky and he was like, yeah, she was talking bad about Mickey and I don't appreciate that with my friends. And he did not feel any sort of remorse about it whatsoever. And then instantly she's like, oh, well, you also said some bad stuff about Kat. Roll it to the footage. It was like a WWE moment, man.
I was very, I don't want to say shocked. I was a bit shocked that they did that because you know what? Jack himself has done a terrible job. I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this. The reason the season's gotten such a bad like bump, if you will, by like a lot of the fans and like people that are kind of over it, is Jack's a big part of that, man. I mean, he said stuff that people that don't really watch the show hear about, and people that
it's never good when people that don't watch Big Brother find out about stuff that's going on in Big Brother in the season. If something goes viral on Twitter, it's not good for Big Brother.
Yeah, and like Icy's saying, Aaron from BB21, like when was the last time they pulled up clips, dude? Like that's crazy. And then when they pulled up the rice pudding clip and the mud hole, and they didn't have to show the shaker bottle.
And listen,
we'll see on the show.
So here are my opinions. So I think that that CBS, Julie, whoever decided to roll these clips, did a good job of splitting them the way they did. Because the first segment of clips that they showed where, stomping a mud hole in her chest and stuff like that, that was obviously completely unexcusable. And I like how Jack didn't try to sugarcoat it. I mean, I think he is a fan of the game and maybe he is familiar with the Aaron stuff when she tried denying it and it just made her look even worse. So he came out and it did, then he at least apologized. Whether you say he was sincere or not, that's up to you. But then the second clip, I mean, it is true. If you watch live feeds, that once Twitter, once social media, anybody, the live feeds watchers, once they decide that someone is on their bad list, once they decide they hate Jack, they're going to pick apart every single little thing that he says. And something as simple as him saying the word rice and then it happening to be about someone that's Asian. Does it look good? No, definitely not a good look for Jack. No. But what he said, and I do truly believe that CBS played that second clip for the reason as exactly why he took it, which is thank you for allowing me to defend myself on national TV. Because if they wouldn't have let him defend himself there, then he would have just been sitting in the jury house, because he's not going home. He can't defend himself on Twitter. He'd be sitting alone in the jury house, and he'd just have to stew, and no one would be able to hear him defend himself. And you never know what kind of, what storm would be waiting for him when he comes out. So I think that was good on them for allowing him to defend himself at least to the best of his ability. But the first segment of clips, just totally uncalled for. What were your opinions on the clips and stuff like that?
I think I think it was necessary almost because of the season. We're 8 weeks into this season. A lot of people are done watching. They were so upset by what happened those first couple weeks, and like we were saying, Jack was a big part of that. So, and if you go back to our preseason, we all wanted to like Jack. We did, and I think that's why a lot of people. I think that's why people don't like Jack, a lot of the reason, because we wanted to like him. And, you feel burned as a fan when your preseason pick, you're like, oh, my God, this Jack guy sounds awesome. He's a good talker. He looks good. He's the whole package for what you want on Big Brother. And then he kind of let us down by showing what a terrible human being he can be at times. But a lot of other people can be too. No one's perfect. I get it. Does he probably regret some of those things? Yes. Did it come off as he seemed to not regret any of it, and then when they showed the clips, he took a huge step back? Yes. But it's interesting. Ty, will there be a jury battle back? No, I don't think so. They had the preseason one.
Yeah, especially since Julie is, if she's talking game about what happened and stuff like that to the house guests, then that means they're pretty much not coming back. So, and Jack gets his alone time, like she said. He gets to be in the jury house alone for the next week.
Next week is not a double eviction.
Yeah, very, very interesting. So traditionally, if you guys are new to Big Brother, the double eviction week, where it's literally 2 evictions all in one night, they play a whole week of Big Brother all in one night. So someone gets evicted about 10 minutes into the show. They hit a commercial, they come back, they do HOH, nominations, veto, cut to commercial, have another eviction, set up for the next week, and that's it. And then they usually go into like an endurance comp, but they don't have to show it, on the show. So usually they do that for the first 2 people in jury, for the main reason of you don't want someone just chilling in the jury house on their own. It's kind of a nice thing to like, well, let's send 2 people at least. And so Charlie and I, before the episode started tonight, we were like, well, next week's got to be double eviction, because they got to do it soon. And it's not even next week, because usually double eviction is the biggest night ratings wise of the year for CBS. It makes sense that they would pump it up going into it. So very interesting. What do you think? Do you think that guarantees double eviction for 2 weeks from now, or what?
I would say yes. I think that does. Maybe they're only having one, and it'll be like from 7 to 6, though. You know how they do that too. Sometimes they'll have 2 in a season. Maybe they can't afford that this year. Maybe because they already brought someone. I don't know what the timing, right? It's all based off timing. So I'm guessing that maybe instead of having 2 this year, they'll have 1. And you know what? If it's from 8-7 or 9-8, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I agree.
What would it be this time? So it'd be from 9 to 8 if it's in 2 weeks from now. That'd be a little different.
Yeah,
cool.
Like Melissa said, she said, I think if they get the field trip out of the way, they'll get the field trip out of the way and then do double eviction. They don't want to confuse the viewers too much with too many twists going on. So we'll see. Hopefully the viewer or the field trip. See, I'm going loopy, man. The field trip will happen, and then we'll move on. We'll get the double eviction later on.
Like the polls and stuff. I'm pretty sure the field trip is going to be Christy, Mickey, and probably Annalise. There's a good chance. It's definitely those 2. The third one's kind of a random one. It was going to be Tommy, but he won HOH. So now that he won HOH, it's kind of hard to. But going off all the polls between every site, it was pretty much those 3.
So we know it's Christy and Mickey and someone else.
Pretty much. Those 2, unless, hey, they can theoretically change the results whatever they want, right? But yeah.
let's be honest, the third person is going to end up being Cliff, and he's just going to lose, and Christy's going to get power. So
you're probably not wrong.
Again,
Jack was getting a lot of votes too, so who knows?
Ben said, "I think Cat, not Sis." That would make sense. I mean, we'll see. I like reserving judgment, being surprised. I mean, I can't really keep up with the feeds this week, because of how busy I've been. So it's kind of nice to me to watch the episodes as they go this week. I didn't really know a lot of the inside dirt. It seemed like it was probably a little boring as far as feeds because everyone knew Jack was leaving. But, let's say it'd be hilarious if Annalise won out of the 3. Imagine the only thing she'd do all season.
She's in an area now where I think if Annalise turns it up, she's still in play to win this game for sure. Now that her meat shield's gone, right?
Meat shield. Is it even a shield? It's just her meat.
Her shower buddy.
Jack tried to blackmail Cat for a vote.
That was a tough. Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, people do. I mean, people have stripped for it before, so we'll see. But anyway, Ben says if Christy's third nom and she's there Thursday, she's gone. Yeah, I think a lot of people understand that Christy is a huge target, which is exactly why Tommy needs to make sure she stays in the game. It's funny. They're working together, and I think Christy will do anything for Tommy, but she's the only one in the house that doesn't realize that she's a huge target.
Yeah. And
Tommy realizes the longer Christy stays, he's going to last at least 1 week longer than that. And so if he can get her to Final 4, he's in Final 3. If he can get her to Final 3, she'll probably take him to Final 2. So Tommy, he's saying, look, if me and Christy can get to Final 3, we're good. And Tommy would probably cut her ass at the end I think he would. If it was
so.
Tommy, Christy, and Jess at the end, I think Tommy would say, screw it. See you, Jess.
Tommy can really elevate his stock even more this week, man.
Yeah. It's funny. We're getting a lot of HOHs from people that they kind of needed the win. We needed to see Cliff do something. Which he kind of busted. But
HOH every week.
Yeah, we needed someone. We needed Jess to show something. Now it's like, oh, Tommy's just Christy's pawn. What's he gonna do if Jesus Christ? If Tommy is his own HOH this week and runs it how he wants to, then good on him. I apologize to everyone for my sloppiness tonight.
Hey, they know the young man's back in the field.
It's tough, man. I think Annalise is the mat of BB19, the mattress. I mean,
tough.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Matt kind of owns his game as like knowing that he was terrible and he's one of the worst players. I don't know if she will do that. I don't get that vibe from her, considering she was like, "Oh, send this to MTV The Challenge."
This is true, Aaron. I find it ironic you said Jess is doing nothing and then she wins HOH right after. It's true. Are we reverse just Charlie, you were the one that called Jack.
I was like, Jack destroyed his game single-handedly.
Charlie came on here a week and a half ago and said Jack was going to win the game.
Yeah, I did. And I said until he's gone, I'm saying he's winning this game because of how liked he was in the house. They all like him. Outside we don't like him, but inside they did. But dude, when he turned on Mickey, I would have taken him. I definitely would put Tommy at, because I had Jack 1, Tommy 2, Annalise 3.
Yeah, we're literally doing the reverse of speaking it into existence.
And my number 11 took out number 1, and that's so poetic. It's awesome.
I think it's hilarious. Which wait, who had Jack? So Garrett had Jack in our in our poll. So that means currently, if you're wondering, for the teams, I guess I'll screen share over. I might as well. Share screen. Oh God, it's gonna be my whole screen. Oh wait, never mind. We're good. All right, there we go. So Garrett, Jack has just been gone. Who am I missing?
Sam.
That's right.
Viewers got lost someone.
Yeah. And so that means Jack, so 6 points added on to the 3 that he currently had. Hey, Garrett's in the lead.
9 points.
It's not where you want to be. So Garrett is holding out for either Nick or Jess to win. You've got Kat and Cliff remaining. I've got Annalise, Tommy, and Christy, and the viewers got Holly, Jackson, and Nicole. The team viewers is looking good, Charlie. This is getting scary. This is not good.
I have no idea who's going home this week, and I kind of like that.
Hey, man, at least I know Tommy's not. And Christy's winning the power, so, you know. That's the way it works. Melissa said I want Tommy to target Nick this week. I mean, maybe. Nick just seems like the prime candidate for double eviction. Just send him home the second one because he's in the middle and no one really knows where he stands. So
I kind of hope they do like clips like that with Nick, how they did with Jack, because he did some really dumb stuff.
Fume says Cliff's winning. You think Cliff's got a chance to win this game now, Charlie?
Dude, he's already been evicted. If he wins, I don't. Oh man,
that's true. He'd be the first person to be evicted and win.
Yeah, I don't see Cliff winning.
Now this is the interesting question, right? Jacob said, "Oops." Do they even have the votes to evict Cliff? So if Tommy says, I really want Cliff gone, that's the hard thing. Tommy can put up whoever he wants, but does he have the numbers to get people to vote how he wants? That's what's funny is that, remember, we've always talked about people always want to do what the HOH wants to do. Who cares? Yeah. The HOH can't vote. Tommy can put up whoever he wants, and whoever the other person is, just send them out. Right? Because we already know that if it's Cliff and Nick's out the door. Easy.
I think so. The 4-person alliance that'll have his back. You know? And then down east, that's going to take away someone's vote.
Ty, generally they just have them like setting up comps and stuff like that. And like, for example, during one of the commercials, Jack was getting his goodbye message and stuff. Is that the first time we've ever had an eviction and not seen goodbye messages?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I feel like a double eviction is the only other time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob says, say it's Nicole, Cliff, and Christy. Christy would go home. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, actually, I don't know. Because at that point, you got to think Nicole and Cliff can't vote. So you'd really have to look at it. So because then then you have Annalise. Yeah, you have Mickey, Holly, Annalise, Jess.
Yes.
So yeah. Jess is obviously voting for Christy, but then the other 3 get to decide who goes home.
Mickey's main target's Christy.
So if Mickey and Holly want to vote out Christy, then absolutely you can send them. But I don't know. I have this sneaking suspicion that Tommy's going to try to get the band back together. We'll see. But I mean, I hope he doesn't succeed. I like the whole everything's blowing up. Let everything go haywire. So
let him put up Mickey and Holly. That'd be awesome.
Jesus. That'd be funny if Christy told him like, hey, look, they're the enemy now. And you pull in Nick. If it's now Christy, Tommy, and Nick as a threesome.
Yeah, and probably Annalise. They could. That'd be an alliance I'd try and form this week if I was Tommy.
Yeah, I would like that because then you've got Mickey and Holly. Then you kind of strand them on their own, and then all of a sudden the person running the house is Cliff. my how things have turned. This could end up getting interesting. So, all right.
Thank God, right?
Fume, I don't understand your question. I was going to put it up, but I don't know. Anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know when we go live. Until next time, guys. Next week will be longer, but a quick little 24-minute and 20-something seconds long, and we're out.
Adios, amigos.
Tacos.